Revelation chapter 13 presents two world powers that we have identified as the papacy and America. Verse 1 of Revelation 13 and verse 11 of Revelation chapter 13. If you want more information on those, you can go back to my two previous videos. Now in this video, there is a question that we need to answer as we continue to look at America in prophecy. And so the question that we need to answer here is, what is symbolized by its two lamb-like horns and the absence of crown? And that is because the text says that in Revelation chapter 13, that the beast that came up out of the earth had two horns like a lamb, and he spoke like a dragon. But the beast in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1 had not only horns, but he had also crown. And so we need to answer the question, what is symbolized by its two lamb-like horns and the absence of crown? Now it is important to note that horns represent kings and kingdom. Horns represent kings and kingdom according to Daniel chapter 7 verse 24 and Daniel chapter 8 and verse 21. The Bible says in Daniel chapter 7 and verse 24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. And Daniel 8 and verse 21 says, and the rough goat is the king of Greece, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. And so horns represent king and kingdom in Bible prophecy. In this case, they represent America two governing principles. In this case, those two horns, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11, represent America two governing principles, which is civil and religious liberty. Civil and religious liberty. These two governing principles have also, we are told, been labeled as republicanism, a government without a king, and Protestantism, a church without a pope. A government without a king, and a church without a pope. That is what those two horns represent. That is why we have the horns without a crown. The horns without a crown. Now you see, it is important to note also as we move forward that in ancient times, since ancient time, that the governments used to charge or tax the citizens of their country to maintain their religious belief, to maintain their religion. And there were times when the people was oppressed and forced to pay taxes to maintain their religious belief, to satisfy the government in their religion, the government-based religion. But what happened is that America established something that was brand new. What was it? America established freedom to worship as you wish without government interference or control and government protection. That was a brand new thing that America introduced. Was a brand new thing that America introduced. What did they introduce? They introduced and established that the freedom of religion, the freedom to worship who you wish to worship without government interference or government control. As a matter of fact, they had the government protection. And so the absence of crown signified a republican form of government. The absence of crown, as it was, signified a republican form of government rather than a monarchy. And so when America was established and the government was formed, there was no king. There was no king. There was a republican form of government. They gave the people the freedom to worship whom they choose to worship without any kind of hindrance, without any tax being charged. the people was free to worship. Thus we have the First Amendment. Thus we have the First Amendment. And so the lamb-like horns denote an innocent, young, non-oppressive, peace-loving, and spiritual nation. And that is what America was. Let me just go over that again. And so the lamb-like horns denote an innocent, young, non-oppressive, peace-loving, and spiritual nation. And spiritual nation. Now hear this. Jesus is referred to as a lamb 28 times in Revelation. 28 times in Revelation. So this new government was trying to uphold his principle. And so, my friends, no other nation, no other power on earth could possibly fit the characteristic and time slot of the lamb horn beast, our nation, because it's a nation, except America. Except America. Let me read the text. Let me read the text in closing. The text says in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11, as I read it quickly in closing this study. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. In my next video, we'll look at how America starts speaking as a dragon. God bless you. Thank you for joining me.